That's really a part of the name. Blue, baby, you don't have to take it down if you're not just okay.
I'm telling you, you
I appreciate your opinion, but you gotta calm down.
Lately, every time Blue Ivy steps beside Beyonce, the internet starts reading the room. Some fans see a young girl growing into her confidence. Others see something colder, a child raised inside one of the most controlled celebrity machines in the world. And because this is Beyonce's daughter, nothing looks casual. Every outfit, every pose, every red carpet moment, every stage entrance gets broken down like it was part of a bigger plan. Now, to be fair, Beyonce has always protected her children from the public eye. Sir is almost never seen, and Rumi only recently started getting more public moments during the Cowboy Carter era. But Blue Ivy is different. Blue has slowly become the child the world recognizes first. She has performed on major stages, walked major carpets, appeared in Disney's Mufasa, and even became part of Beyonce's touring legacy before most kids her age are even thinking about high school. That is where the conversation gets messy, because fans are now asking whether Blue is simply being allowed to follow her talent or whether she is being shaped into the next face of the Carter Knowles dynasty before she is old enough to fully choose that life for herself. During the Renaissance era, Blue's stage appearances were celebrated, but they also put her under a microscope. By the time Cowboy Carter rolled around, people were not just watching Beyonce anymore, they were watching Blue. They were studying her confidence, her expressions, her body language, and the way she moved around her parents. And, according to Beyonce's own camp, Blue did want to perform. But wanting one moment on stage and becoming a symbol of the family legacy are two very different things.
I think I'm ready to go on stage, and her mom, yeah, she did. Really. And her mom said, no, I don't think so, Blue. And then she thought about it. She said, if you work hard and you really come with it, then we'll let you go one time. So it's supposed to be a one-time thing.
Oh, and it turned out to be the whole tour.
Because, it was magical. And she just, her confidence just grew and grew. And it was a beautiful thing for her.
After that interview clip, the debate only got louder. On one side, people saw a proud family giving Blue Ivy room to shine. On the other side, critics started questioning whether the spotlight was becoming too heavy for someone still so young. That conversation exploded again when Blue appeared at the Mufasa premiere. She looked polished, expensive, and completely camera-ready, but some people online felt the styling made her look older than 12. Others defended her immediately, saying people were being unfair and projecting grown-up expectations onto a child who was simply attending a major film premiere with her family. Then came the Grammys conversation. When Jay-Z stepped on stage with Blue beside him, fans noticed everything. His message was about Beyonce, the Recording Academy, and years of Album of the Year frustration. But because Blue was standing there, the moment felt even more loaded. Some viewers thought it was a father-daughter moment. Others believed her presence softened what could have been a very sharp industry call-out. Either way, Blue was no longer just standing in the background. She had become part of the message.
Obviously, it's subjective because, it's music and it's opinion-based. But, some things, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won Album of the Year. So even by your own metrics.
And that Grammy moment opened the door to a bigger question. Why does Blue Ivy always look so composed, even in situations where most kids would be laughing, playing around, or acting nervous? Some fans say people are overthinking it. They argue Blue is naturally reserved, she grew up around cameras, and she simply knows how to behave in public. But online critics see something else. They point to the way she poses, the way she keeps her face controlled, and the way she almost never gives the public those messy, carefree kid moments that other celebrity children get to have. That is why every photo turns into a debate. If Blue smiles, fans call her confident. If she looks serious, people claim she looks uncomfortable. If she performs well, people say she was trained like a professional. If she misses a step, the internet treats it like a major headline. That is a lot of pressure for a young girl who has never lived a normal public life. And the pressure did not start yesterday. Blue won a Grammy before she was even a teenager. She performed beside Beyonce on one of the biggest tours in the world. She voiced a Disney character in Mufasa. She has been around stylists, dancers, directors, photographers, and security teams since birth. So even when the family presents these moments as beautiful and empowering, fans still wonder what kind of private discipline has to exist behind the scenes to make a child look that prepared in public. There have also been rumors about strict routines, private lessons, coaches, language training, NDAs, and tightly controlled access to Blue. Those details are not all publicly confirmed, so they should be treated as speculation. But the reason people believe them is because the final product looks almost too perfect. Blue rarely appears caught off guard. She rarely gives a messy, quote, "She rarely looks like someone who is just figuring it out in real time." And that is what makes the situation so complicated. Beyonce may see this as protection. She knows what fame can do. She knows how cruel the entertainment world can be, especially toward black girls. But protection can start looking like pressure when the child being protected is also being placed on the same stage that created the pressure in the first place. So when fans say Blue looks serious, they may not be talking about one photo. They may be reacting to the whole machine around her.
I heard it really was just supposed to be a one-time thing. That one of her friends went on social media and she read some comments that were not great, which I was pretty disappointed that she had access to.
I mean, there was lots of negative things that people had to say, but I can see that the more that I do it, the better I become.
That's when Blue Ivy went.
Once Blue saw the online criticism and chose to work harder instead of backing away, fans praised her discipline. But that moment also exposed something uncomfortable. A child read harsh comments from grown strangers, and instead of being fully shielded from it, she used it as fuel. Some people called that inspiring. Others said it was heartbreaking. Now that Blue is older, the conversation has shifted again. She is not just a little girl standing beside Beyonce anymore. She is entering her teenage years, and people are starting to notice small signs of independence. The Cowboy Carter Tour gave fans the Manager Blue persona, the focused, observant, slightly bossy version of Blue that people online turned into a meme. She looked like she knew the show, knew the timing, and knew exactly what was supposed to happen. That is why the Met Gala sunglasses moment became such a big deal. On the surface, it was simple. Photographers wanted the glasses off, Jay-Z appeared to encourage her, and Blue waited until she was ready. But the internet treated it like a declaration. For once, Blue seemed to control the moment on her own terms. She did not panic. She did not rush. She did not immediately obey the room. She handled it in a way that felt calm, confident, and very intentional. And because the Met Gala is one of the most controlled red carpets in the world, that small choice became symbolic. Blue was only 14, and her attendance itself sparked discussion because the event usually has an 18+ rule, though exceptions can happen for high-profile guests and family members of co-chairs. Beyonce was one of the night's co-chairs, so Blue's appearance was already special. Still, fans turned that sunglasses moment into a bigger theory. Maybe Blue is starting to push back. Not in a rebellious, disrespectful way, but in the way teenagers naturally do when they want to be seen as their own person. Then Matthew Knowles added another layer when he publicly encouraged Blue to explore new opportunities and step outside her comfort zone. He did not attack Beyonce. He did not say anything negative directly. But because he helped build Destiny's Child and knows exactly what industry training can cost, fans read his words as more than just a sweet grandfather message. And when the people who built the machine start talking about freedom, choice, and new paths, the audience is going to pay attention.
For her is that I wish that she would do something else. I hope that she doesn't go into entertainment. Just because I think it's a huge sacrifice. It's a huge sacrifice on your life. But if she chooses to do it, I'm going to be right up at front, screaming and cheering, but hopefully she'll choose.
That Tina Knowles clip is important because it does not come from a random hater online. This is Beyonce's mother. This is someone who lived the entertainment industry from the inside, helped guide Destiny's Child, watched Beyonce sacrifice privacy for greatness, and understands the cost of fame better than most people ever will. So when Tina says she hopes Blue chooses something outside entertainment, it does not sound like shade. It sounds like experience. It sounds like a grandmother who loves her granddaughter enough to admit that fame is not always the dream people think it is. And that is the real question at the center of this whole story. Is Beyonce preparing Blue Ivy for greatness? Or is Blue being pulled into a legacy that comes with too much pressure too soon? Nobody outside that family can know the full truth. What we can see is the public pattern. The stage moments, the red carpets, the viral reactions, the criticism, the praise, and the way Blue was slowly becoming a star in her own right. Maybe Beyonce is protecting her daughter the only way she knows how. Maybe Blue truly wants this life. Or maybe the world is watching a young girl try to find her own voice inside one of the most powerful families in entertainment. So now it is on the audience. Do you think Blue Ivy is being guided, or is the spotlight moving too fast?